Majo John Madden, Juanito, and Fletcher, North Carolina, to talk about the Sabbath, Sunday morning. Sábado in Mexico is Saturday. Sunday is Domingo, the Lord's Day. I want to talk about some of my experiences over the course of my life, actually, with church, going to church. Going to church at our little Catholic church when I was a kid was quite a sterile experience. Preaching had nothing much to offer. The theology was terrible. I remember it as a place I would go to look at girls, see some of the girls from school. St. John, not St. John, but Pope John the 23rd, I guess maybe he's been declared a saint by now, I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not following all the politics in the Catholic Church. John the 23rd was quite a revolutionary, and I remember that as a period that folk masses came in, and the Mass became a lot looser and more relaxed and more relevant. In Asheville, North Carolina, I was involved in something called the Asheville Movement Collective between 2004 and when I left in 2020, and they called it Dance Church, partly because the primary two dances happened Sunday morning, the biggest ones, and they happened in a converted old church, which was, well, during the maybe 10 years I was involved in that group, it cycled through several different places, but that old church was my favorite. Then my writing coach, Nina Hart, who's quite a brilliant young woman, tried an experiment that she called Art Church on Sunday mornings, where people would come together and write or create other forms of art here in Asheville. And that was pretty exciting. I remember it. Nina, if you respond to this, was it down in the River Arts District? Because I walked by a place down there that I thought reminded me of it. Up in Appalachia, I tried to create my own church. At one point, I was broadcasting on Sunday mornings. That didn't go. That was that was not meant to be. I was not meant to create a church. But a number of times on Sunday morning, I have and in Appalachia, even people who were not religious anymore would honor the Sabbath, and I was really touched by that. They wouldn't call it that, but Sunday mornings would be a time to not go to the big box stores, which, by the way, as a kid, we had blue laws where you couldn't go shopping. All those big stores would be closed on Sunday. I think that was basically a pretty good practice. And along the way, I was influenced by a guy, I'll look up his link, who wrote a book called Sabbath, and about the need of modern people to have a day of rest. So in Appalachia, I was really touched by that, and I've tried ever since, that was 5 years ago, to make Sunday a day of rest. In Appalachia, they would hang with family and be in nature rather than to do business on Sundays. So Sunday mornings, when I wanted to move my camper van in Mexico and other places, especially if it was acting up. I remember when I was leaving Jalapa, Xalapa. I wanted to make the move from Jalapa to another town. I was going to Veracruz. And it was misbehaving. The car wasn't doing very well, so I had to drive when there was little traffic, and I learned Sunday morning is your time to make a move because there won't be a lot of cars on the road. And here, this spot on a weekday is terrible. After 9 o'clock on a weekday or after 8 o'clock, it's trucks. There's some kind of big apartment building being built down there, I think. And there's nothing but dump trucks and other kinds of commercial big trucks. And here on Sunday morning, I guess it's about 9 o'clock at this time, quiet. And I've had a intense morning, a happy morning, wonderful dancing in the little sunroom I use here. I was dancing at 5 a.m. And then I created a video that I felt really good about. I'll put a link to that. And then I had an encounter back on my unit. I'm only going to be here a couple more days. But intense encounter on my unit where I got disciplined for being out of line, and I do get out of line. Got disciplined for being out of line, and then had a memory that reminded me not to take it too serious. That's the video I was gonna make before the Sunday overruled it. So we'll hold off the whole video about getting disciplined and then realizing it's not as big a deal as it may sound like. It's not. So I got out here and I got really quiet. Really quiet. Then I had to wreck it by talking. It's the big dialectic in my life is living and reporting, because I'm a reporter. I'm a columnist. Maybe I don't have a column, but living life, and then teaching about it. I'm a teacher for sure. So I got intensely quiet, and then life said, yeah, now open your yap and speak some more. Tell people about it, those people who will listen, and then get quiet again. It's still quite early. The road's still very quiet. I'll go back into the silence. Listen to the birds. I don't hear the birds when I'm talking. No, I do not. More and more I hear the inner sound. I hear an inner sound, either a hum. I talk about that elsewhere. I hear the sound of life in my brain even while I'm talking. But it's better when I shut up. Have a good day, folks.